couple leads at half. I cashed on both of them. So every time Brooklyn had the lead, you were able to now get, you know, either Sixers plus points or Sixers money line for plus, 105, 150, I think. And each time I knew that they were going to come back. It was almost like they were playing with their food, in my humble opinion. You saw game 4, the Nets scored on a lot of second, third, and sometimes fourth opportunities in that first half. And all of a sudden, those opportunities went away in the second half, and the Sixers, of course, with the inevitable sweep in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think Brooklyn played well in that game. Nick Claxton was the big one because he was playing extremely well, and then he got fouled out. So it just Brooklyn was trying to play physical. Brooklyn was trying to get under the Sixers' skin. It worked to a certain extent because Joel Embiid wasn't himself, and of course the injury didn't help. But at the end of the day, talent was just too much, and Tyrese Maxey's talent took over at the end of the game, even without James Harden, and they still won. So, yeah, it's Brooklyn gave them their best shot. I mean, I thought that was going to be the toughest game. It ended up being the toughest game. Game 4 wasn't really that tough, and now the Sixers are moving on. But, of course, the Sixers can't move on to the second round without something going wrong.
Yeah. And
it just is. Just copy and paste every single year. Second round, Joel Embiid's either hurt, James Harden's hurt, whoever's hurt, just copy and paste it every second round.
It's tough, man. You got to get that second round jitters, man. It happens every single year. I want to talk about Nick Claxton because he was the one that was benefiting off of those second or third opportunities. And then he's doing these insane like NBA Jam type dunks. I'm like, dude, just put the ball in the basket. You guys had like 3 or 4 opportunities. So I do agree, like he was the high scorer, but it was like, man, like I was like, he's a highlight reel. If you're going to watch it on ESPN or SportsCenter, you're going to see a ton of Claxton, especially first half dunks. And I was just like, dude, like this is the third attempt. Dude, let's just get in the hole this time. So, yeah, that series was, dude, I've never, ever was a part or watched a basketball game that was as fun as what we did at the Bankroll. Like I've never experienced that in an NBA game. So it was pretty dope for me. I was driving down to the studio and I was cold. And I was like, I need a sweatshirt. So I went into a local store and they had a Sixers sweatshirt. I was like, I'm going to rock this today because they deserve my money because they gave me, honestly, one of the top 5 sports nights of my life. So it was really, really cool. I was happy to hang out with you and, kind of just run point for our video stream, which was chaos for sure.
Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine the chaos you had to sift through.
It was fun. I kept going up to you, asking you if the audio levels were good. You're like, Mike, it's fine. It's fine. And so I was like, all right, Jansen says it's fine. We're rolling with it. But, anytime that table moved or people moved, you kind of had to coach them with like sign language to be like talking to the mic or don't talk right into the mic. One of the guys flipped it upside down. I was like, yeah, I can't be like that. But dude, it was awesome. Kyle from Crossing Broad was there. That kid is gigantic. I know, like now
very tall human.
Yes. Yeah. And it was funny. I sat next to him off camera. You couldn't see that second seat. And he's like, yo, dude, you smell so good. I was like, I needed that because I've been sweating this whole time and I felt like a slob. I didn't want to go near anybody. He's like, yo, you smell so good. And then at the end of the night, he's like, I know the guy who smells good has some mints. And then I told him the mint story and why I carry mints now instead of gum. But dude, it was an awesome night. And what we're going to get into now is some awesome opportunities to make some money. So I talked about it. Falter is pitching tonight. He's 0-3 on the season. Hasn't had really good stuff, but I think that tonight could be his night. Like, honestly, I do. 4.5 ERA on the short season, up against Gonzalez. It's just who's 1-0 and 3.78. So I get it. It's the Mariners. It's not an easy task. Like, there's no way that you could say, oh, this is an easy night for the Phillies. It's not. But I'm tired of the Phillies losing on Tuesday, so I'm thinking it's going to change tonight. And I'm going to run it with the Mets because the Mets are going up against Gray. And Jose Butto is on the mound, and this is his second appearance for the New York
Just
Mets.
say Butto. It's okay.
Yeah, it's so close. I wanted to.
Butto. Just say Butto. Jose Butto.
His first appearance for the Mets, he had 5 strikeouts, ERA of 1.8. Look, like, so we're trying to catch lightning in a bottle here. But I mean, this is a team we should absolutely beat. There's no reason why the Mets shouldn't, win tonight. So I do think it's the easier of the 2 parlays that we've ever done. The Nationals are by far one of the worst teams in baseball now that the Pirates have figured it out, right? And a few other teams are actually performing well. And the only non-threat in the whole division right now, because you got the Marlins playing well, the Phillies are back. The Braves have come back to reality. They're 6 of their last 10. And the Mets are 7 of their last 3. You got the Marlins 6-4, Philly 7-3. So everybody's playing well in our division, except for the Nationals, which have lost 7 of their last 10. So I mean, like, look, this is definitely a series where if you're going to compete in October, you gotta take 2 out of 3. You can't let the Nationals come into your ballpark after an amazing West Coast trip that could have buried the Mets. I mean, the Mets never do good on the West Coast, and you could say that for any East Coast team, but they actually almost beat a record. It could have been their best. One more win, it would have been their best West Coast trip ever, which is remarkable thinking about, the 86 Mets and teams like that actually just ran away with it and won an insane amount of, over 100 plus wins for a season. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm also looking at, I'm going to share you our first real Powers parlay of the day. And that's the Dodgers versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates are trying to go for their 8th win on this young season. They just locked up their rookie. They're doing things that have to make you smile if you're a Pirates fan. I mean, for once, right? So, but I think it ends tonight, and I think it's because they're going up against a team that nobody really wants to compete against, and constantly could remind you that, hey, you got room for improvement, and that's the LA Dodgers. So tonight I'm taking the Dodgers versus the Pirates on the money line. Freddie Freeman to get a hit, and Noah Syndergaard to throw 5+ strikeouts. And here's the thing. That's probably the only thing that's hard on this whole thing. And that's not a knock on the Pirates. I just think the Dodgers, they've already lost a ton of games. So I think they're going to bounce back to a little bit of reality. And the fact that the Pirates are on such a big streak that I think that, they're due to lose a game. I'm not saying the Pirates aren't real. I'm not saying that they're not going to compete this year in their division. They very well could do that. What I'm saying is I think they lose tonight. So I think that's the easy bet. Freddie Freeman always gets a hit. I mean, that's like, today's newspaper arriving, if people still do that, or today's emails arriving, right? And then Noah Syndergaard is really the only question mark. In his last 3 games, he had 2 strikeouts against the Mets in Arizona, and he had 9 strikeouts against the Cubs. And when I look at the young Cubs and I look at the young Pirates, like there's a lot of similarities. So I could see Noah taking advantage now, being a veteran pitcher and being able to get 5 strikeouts. Do I think he's going to get 9? No. Really, the only issue is time. If Noah gives you 5 innings, 6 innings, he could rack up 5 strikeouts. If he gets pulled early, which, sadly, post-career of his Tommy John has been the case, whether it's his stint with the Phillies or the Angels and now the Dodgers, he does end up sometimes leaving games extremely early. So if the Pirates can't get to him early and he's able to manage through, that's going to be an easy parlay. And right now it's at plus 330. So it's an easy parlay to hit. But also, like, obviously it's not going to pay 9. And I don't really do that. I tend to win a lot of parlays because I keep it within that 3 to 5 margin. So that's it. Jansen, before I know we have one caller that's going to call in for the Sixers, and I think that's Greg from PC Richard and Son on the other side of this. But I wanted to talk about something because, man, I've been thinking about it all week. I really have.
Oh no. And it's something that involves me. That's not good.
It does. We mentioned our love for fast food. We shared our feelings towards Wawa, our feelings towards McDonald's. And on the way out last week, Jansen goes, it would be really cool for our socials if like we had a competition. And not to put words in your mouth, but you said like, we put a dollar amount and we go to as fast foods on the TVs here. I think that's Arby's or something, right?
Yeah, that would have to be a high dollar amount
yeah.
to find any value in Arby's. It's a very expensive fast food chain. I don't really go to Arby's that much, even though I think it's one of the better tasting ones.
That's fair.
Their curly fries are great.
I feel like nobody goes to Arby's. Like I
no,
actually,
they're too expensive.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend that much money on fast food. I don't care how many meats they have. All right, the meats are too expensive. I don't want it.
Also, they can't be getting a return on their investment because you see their commercials as much as any other fast food place, but you don't see the volume. Like you don't see like, you could see McDonald's bags in every trash can probably in America, which is disgusting to think about, but it's the truth, right? Same thing with Taco Bell, same thing with, maybe Wendy's also ROI is
I
not
can't believe
there.
Burger King's still around.
Dude, it's nuts, right? So
I don't see anybody at a Burger King.
Yeah, I don't know. I had to get it once and their app is actually pretty good. Like I think T-Mobile had a thing where you got like a free $10 gift card to like Burger King and my whole store did it. And they're like, "Yo, you got to do it. You got to do it." And the delivery service was actually really good. But then I was like, "Oh, this is terrible." Like Whoppers used to hit, they were decent. It was like the Big Mac or the Whopper. Both taste great. I didn't like the onions on a Whopper, but other than that, I could rock a Whopper. Like I thought it was good stuff. Their fries have always been mediocre. Their onion rings are good, but and
fries
also
are terrible.
yeah, but their ice cream always worked. Just so you know.
That's because nobody gets their ice cream.
That's fair. That's fair. I just, wanted to throw that zinger out. So Jansen and I had this idea that we should like pick a dollar amount, and I'm thinking like $12 for the first one, and we kind of
that's a high number.
I
can
go
work
lower?
well within those means. Yeah, I think we could go a little bit lower.
Okay,
I did. So I recently did I say I got the biggie bag from Wendy's recently?
You did.
Yeah. Okay, that was not great. That was not a great value.
Yeah, I hate their chicken nuggets, man. They're stale.
They're better than Burger King's though. Burger King's are by far the worst chicken nugget I have had at a fast food chain.
And McDonald's chicken nugget isn't like a real chicken nugget either.
No,
like it's like this,
but it's good though.
It's great.
I'll give you. It's good.
And their sauces.
And they have a bunch of sauces. Sauces really.
Yeah.
The only good thing about Wendy's, they had. So I asked for a buffalo sauce, and I guess I don't know if they had buffalo sauce or not. I'm assuming they didn't because what they gave me was called a ghost pepper sauce, and it was like a ghost pepper ranch. So it's a little bit spicy, not as spicy as I wanted it to be, but a little bit spicy, and it was ranch. So that I thought was actually the only redeeming quality of getting a chicken nugget.
That's intriguing.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's really good, actually.
It's honestly all about the sauces.
It is.
For a chicken nugget.
You could eat anything, like, as long as it's dressed nicely or yeah, I agree with that. So look, so or we could do like $12 and then like you get a point for every dollar you're below. Like, or do you want to do $8 the first round?
It's got to be, $8 is good.
Let's
Got to be
do
under
$8.
$8. So the game is, it's got to be under $8, and we get what we think is the best value for $8 or under at whatever fast food restaurant, and then we would have the people vote on which one they thought was more valuable.
Yeah. So then we'll videotape it, put it on socials, and you can vote. So that's what we're gonna do. By next Tuesday, we'll have our video.
I always think the mistake is people just get meals at like these fast food restaurants.
Mistake.
That's a huge mistake because all you're gonna get is like so it helps that you get the fries, but I always feel like the meal is a bit too much for whatever burger and fries.
That's fair.
So you got to stick with value menus, and you got to find the right combinations that work well.
Like a 4-piece nugget, a double cheeseburger, and a small fry. Like I think that is an epic meal, in my opinion.
Yeah, so the 20-piece chicken McNugget's like $5 or $6, and I say you get like a McChicken, and bam, you got about like $8 worth of stuff there. It probably goes a little bit over, but that's a lot of food.
It is a lot of food.
It's a ton of food.
Yeah, and that's
the 20-piece is actually one of the better values. I think
by far. Yeah, it's nuts, man.
Because you can get different sauces, and that'll be the different flavors. I know it's 20-piece chicken nuggets. That's a lot of chicken nuggets, and all you're eating is chicken nuggets. But you get different sauces, and that's where you get the flavor.
Yeah. Just to get off food real quick.
We should
Oakland.
probably do that. Yeah.
Have you looked into anything going on in Oakland right now with the mayor?
It's not going well. Oh, wait.
and,
I thought you meant
like,
just the baseball team doing very poorly.
They're terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen that.
But there's reports now that they're shopping and they're looking at Vegas. The mayor's like, we're not going to get into a bidding war. Oakland mayor, she's not happy that they're threatening to leave. And but the words used from the fan base and even the government officials there is anger and shock. Like, are you shocked by this at all? Like, are you kidding me? They've had like, how old is Moneyball now? 10 years old?
It's very old.
Yes.
I think it was early 2000s where they really started it. So it's
Right.
we're going about 20 years.
I'm
now.
talking about the movie. Because that created awareness.
The movie, it was the book,
and then that
started,
goes further back.
Yeah, the book is way early.
Right.
So Moneyball itself started in like 2003, 2004, and I think the book, because I read it, I want to say it was. I can look it up, but I want to say it's a little bit before 2010,
which is a whole different thing than the movie. The movie is great, but Moneyball will actually teach you how this whole.
Oh no, it was originally
worked.
Published in 2003. Yeah.
So 03, and then the movie was like what 10. 2010?
Yeah, 2010.
So we're talking about legit 25 years, right? Or 20 years of the world knowing that stadium is trash. 20 years. Oakland A's played in a bad ballpark. And now Oakland officials are in shock and anger. Like, the minute I saw that headline, I was like, I don't have to read anymore. And then I saw her on the news and she's mad and she's like, we're not going to get into a debate or we're not, going to let Vegas make our decisions or quickly make a decision either way based off of that. And I was just like, this is nuts. Like, you're shocked. Like, nobody's shocked by this. Your ballpark's disgusting. Like, it shouldn't even be allowed. You got minor league teams. We covered it on this show. Minor league teams are outperforming Oakland's attendance. That's insane. Like, they should go to Vegas. They deserve a city where, fans will go. I will go to Oakland, an A's game. Also, they should call it like the Aces, like Vegas Aces. They should change.
Well, there's
There is.
Well, no. I just there
right?
there is.
WNBA?
Yeah, the Vegas Aces.
Yeah.
And I think they stocked up this year. They're actually.
But either way, then just change the A to look like a card A. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could. So
yeah,
Oakland. That is all self-inflicted wounds. Like, that is the city. That is obviously the organization being very bad now.
Fair.
But the stadium's terrible, and nobody wants to do anything about it. And if I guess the Oakland owners or the A's owners who are wanting to move to Vegas, they probably see dollar value in that, and they see an opportunity to get a better stadium and to drive a better fan experience into their ballpark. And I'm all for it, because if Oakland and the A's front office and ownership can't get along and can't figure something out, then just don't. There's no reason to stay there, because the fan experience is terrible in Oakland.
Yeah,
it's one of the worst stadiums in all of baseball. It might be the worst stadium in all of baseball.
Corey, I think, was in San Fran, and there wasn't a game. So then he looked up Oakland, and he's like, it was an hour drive or so, or maybe a little bit more. And then he's like, nah, I'm not going to go.
Nope.
Like, that's how bad it is. It's just, it is what it is. Shout out to Corey, by the way. His Devils came back out of nowhere. I mean, who would have thought you'd drop 2 at home and then go to the Garden and win the next 2? I mean, it's insane. That series is destined for 7. It's pretty much a coin flip now. I think it is advantage Devils. I do believe they're the better team, all-around team. Like I said, Rangers have some amazing talent, probably in a lot of positions the best talent, but all around Devils are an amazing team. And you saw it last night. I mean, they had control of that game. There was a power play the Rangers were on. They got 1 shot on goal, and the Devils had like 3. So they almost won, scored on wide down a man. So it's been awesome. It's been absolutely awesome. I hopefully when the Devils get home to Camden, they're in Camden, right? I don't know. One of those North Jersey cities, Newark, I think. Yeah, Newark. Yeah. So when they get home, hopefully their fans show up, because Rangers fans are from Jersey as well, but they've noticed that it's a lot cheaper to go to to Newark. So shout outs to NHL. It's been fun, man. Yeah, I don't know. It hasn't been as fun as the NBA. It never is. But it's been definitely watchable, and I've been peeking my head throughout these series.
Yeah, it's been fun. Probably a lot of drama considering the NBA is a little bit of drama. Like Jimmy Butler added some, and there's been some good games.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it's the NBA it's a lot of injuries, and there have been some blowouts, while hockey continues to have game after game just some of the most dramatic filled games so far of these playoffs between both leagues.
Speaking of Jimmy Butler, shout out to Joel Embiid saying he's the
Jimmy
MVP.
Butler.
Jimmy. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. I mean, I agree with it. I mean, Embiid is the actual
Clearly.
yeah, it's got to happen this year. And I heard, after game 3 there was a lot of talk amongst the entire Fox Sports crew about like, hey, that would be a great pick me up against Boston if that's announced, So you never know what could get your fan base re-energized or to win a 7 series game matchup. But it's there's a lot of different variables that are going throughout all these playoffs, and what the Sixers could hope for is pretty much what the Rangers are getting with the Devils, right? Maybe drop 2, pick up 2, and now it's a best of 3. So you never know. You got to play the games. These are professional players, but like you said, it's kind of heartbreaking right now watching the Sixers go through it again. I mean, I'll never forget. I was with Ty with that Kawhi shot that had no business going in.
0.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. And fact that Toronto, like they didn't even get him back after that, and it's just like I don't know. It was a weird that was meant for Philly. And it's just unfortunate how that all played out. So hopefully no more heartbreak in the Sixers land in the second series, but we'll see that soon. More MLB coming up after the break. We're going to talk we'll go throughout again another Tuesday with no afternoon games. Is this going to be a revolving door of that? Is that like just something I never noticed? I like my one afternoon game. Just give me one MLB. Also, I want to talk about MLB innings. If you're not watching this, it's insane. It's the MLB version of Red Zone. It's a lot of fun to the point where when it's not on, I'm annoyed. But the guys running the war room, it's really, really cool. You could get it on if you subscribe to MLB TV app. But man, I watch it all the time, and it really helps me watch my parlays, but also build them. And I won a lot of money on Sunday doing that. Shout outs to the Houston Astros for pulling out that victory. I had them in a parlay, and it that game came down the wire, and they pulled it out at the end. So we'll be right back on Fox Sports The Gambler. This is Powers Parlays.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Busy on 95 with Phillies volume in northbound South approach to the Commodore Barry.
Tune in, and you'll be ready to watch the draft like a scout. Subscribe now and listen to the Move the Sticks podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
My name is Roy Lightstein. I'm the CEO and president of Legacy Treatment Services.
Every day in business is a big day. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Getting you ready for all of the weekend's action. It's sports here, there, and everywhere with Dick Girardi and Mike Kern live from the Parks Casino Sportsbook.
I am so sick of these announcers going, oh my God, P.J. Tucker, he changed everything. Here's the reason P.J. Tucker got a lot of offensive rebounds. Nobody is guarding him. It's 4-on-5. Nobody's blocking him out because nobody's guarding him. So he gets 4 or 5 offensive rebounds, keeps possessions alive, right? And Doc Rivers says he won the game. No, he didn't. He almost lost the game. He can't play offense. His shot is a joke. Whenever he makes it, it's a mistake.
Except against the Celtics.
Right. He can't make a layup. And I'm telling you, when they get in against the Celtics and he's got to guard somebody, he is going to get totally exposed. I think he's the biggest fraud in recent memory in this town, and he's becoming
If you're listening to this, your weekend is already a winner. It's sports here, there, and everywhere with Dick Girardi and Mike Kerr, live from the Parks Casino Sportsbook.
Hey man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
You're listening to Powers Parlays with Mike Powers, right here on The Gambler.
So I'm going through NBA games for tonight, and I keep getting locked onto KD with these parlays, and I feel like it's a sucker's bet, but I can't help it. I like the dude. I really do. He's a fun player to watch. I think his ankles are the tiniest ankles in the world. And I think that's why he always has issues with them. Like he's always injured. But like I can't get over how skinny the man's legs are, but he's a heck of a basketball player. And if he was still in Brooklyn, like I think maybe it could have been a different series, like Sixers in 5. But in all seriousness, he's doing good. I wish him all the best in Phoenix. Out of the big three that left Brooklyn, honestly, I think he did it the cleanest, I want to say. Harden was weird, and then you had all this back and forth about the drama of him and Kyrie not playing well.
I think Kyrie was the cleanest. For sure.
Oh man, that was
Kyrie didn't burn any bridges after that.
Yeah, that was tough, man. That was not easy to just not want to talk about. That was like landmines everywhere. That guy did not. And also the press, he would ramble for 20 minutes and they would cut it into 2 seconds. So some of the times when he did say things that were sentimental, they just didn't run with it because he already said some terrible things. So it just it's tough when the press doesn't like it. It's not easy to survive for sure, and that was kind of proof of that. So regardless, glad any Brooklyn fan I talk to or anybody is just happy that Brooklyn made it into the playoffs and Kyrie did not. So that's really their championship. Maybe they'll put it up like the Mets do with their wild card winnings and throw it up on a banner and be like, yeah, we made it to the playoffs and Kyrie didn't. So that's it. But I am looking. I'm gonna try to work out a KD type parlay. But the first one I put together was like -110, and I was just like, it's gonna guarantee I lose money. Like, I'm not gonna make money off this parlay. So the books have them doing pretty well tonight. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, man. First off, I want to mention something because last week I told you my daughter said that Sean Brace looks like Mike Trout. Well, I'm here to tell you my daughter's a liar. Because
very much a liar.
Yes, because my wife was away, so this weekend was a lot of Mike working, Alexa helping with Peyton. Shout outs to Alexa, she's amazing. She helps us with childcare when we need it, and so they spent a lot of time together. And Sunday morning, I wake up, my daughter's trying to wake me up, and she's cracking up. She's cracking up, and she won't stop laughing. And she's giggling. She can't even get the word out. And she goes, "Good morning, Caillou." And I was like, "Who the heck's Caillou?" She's like,
"No, that's great."
She's like, "You're Caillou."
You're grown up. You're an adult Caillou.
I was like, "What?" Like, so I like, and then she's sending me on her iPad like little gifs of Caillou and cracking up. And then her mom comes home from this trip.
I don't like that kids know how to send gifts.
Dude, she knows everything. It's nuts. And you know what? Like, as I substitute teach, believe it or not, spoiler alert, Mike has another job. So when I'm teaching, these kids are, it's a necessity. Like, if you're one of those parents that are like, "Oh, I'm not going to give my kid a tablet," well, you're setting them for failure because it's a calculator, it's a compass, and you could go down to PC Richard & Son and buy it. No, but in all seriousness, it's a part of their lives. Like, you can't ignore it. I mean, right now my computer's not working and I feel homeless, like it's tough. So they have their notebooks. They're actually like, so Jansen, I don't know your age specifically, but when I was in school, it was all MacBooks, right? That's what we were brought up on. Like, everything was Mac.
Wait, MacBook? You guys had MacBooks?
Well, like the Mac computers. They were trying to make a name for themselves, so they gave them to like almost every school for free.
You like the desktop?
Yeah, the green ones.
I thought you had like MacBooks.
Yeah. Now they're called.
I feel like I'm older than you.
No, like the iMacs. iMacs, I think they were.
Yeah,
called.
I'm pretty sure I had.
Yeah,
those.
and the Macintosh.
I remember playing the pinball game a lot. I think it was like Galaxy Pinball or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And the Macintosh computers, like the schools had them, but then your parents went home and they had Windows, right? So like it was confusing, and then all of a sudden it was this generation of people on Apple products because that's what you were taught in. Well, in these schools now, it's all Google Chrome. Like, every school has Chromebook. These kids can fly through a Chromebook like you wouldn't believe. And again, on a tablet as well. So yeah, my 6-year-old loves to send me text messages, GIFs. Obviously there's parental controls and stuff. She can't see certain things, but yeah, that's my life. So I was hazed into being a grown up Caillou, and that's hurtful. Also,
yeah, that's just too much bullying for kids. I mean, kids are terrifying now. Kids are terrifying to have that power.
Okay,
so I see it was 3D pinball Space Cadet.
Yo, that was legit.
Yeah.
That was legit.
A ton of fun.
You could go to your friend's house, play that.
Because we would have computer classes when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have computer classes where we would learn how to type.
Yeah.
But of course, after that, or while nobody's looking, we would play that pinball game.
They're teaching now, like, same thing, but like coding and stuff like that. It's
coding.
So their computer class, like,
I did that in high school.
It's basic, but it's like,
I did web design. I think it was like a web design class.
Right. No, it's like basic coding, but yeah, I've witnessed it when I'm in the elementary schools, and I can't believe it. But they simplify it down to like the way you would with a math equation, and I think that's really cool. And they're trying to set up the kids, for success, especially the ones that like that. But yeah, man, that was my weekend, and on top of winning some money, I mean, like I said earlier, the Astros were probably my biggest play of the weekend. Also, the Sixers at halftime, like, you can almost guarantee it. It was ridiculous. That was the easiest amount of money I've ever made in my gambling career. And unfortunately, I lost money on the Mets, and it was in the weirdest way possible. So I had
Mets are gonna Met.
Yeah, well, we lost. They lost. The Mets lost on Sunday, but I didn't pick him to win or lose. I picked for Francisco Alvarez to hit a home run. And he did. But he didn't start the game. So the bet was voided. And I have a little beef with DraftKings about that because, like, one, you want to avoid the bet. That's cool. Sometimes they do it, and it's always advantage better, I want to say. You know, when it's like somebody gets injured or something like that. I've seen some awesome voided out bets, which I have appreciated. Even the fact that, like, in a parlay, like on an NFL parlay, specifically, if it goes into overtime, they'll void that part of the parlay, you know? So in certain circumstances, but it's happened to me where I was like, oh man, I can't believe this happened, or it was a tie game. That's what it was. It ended in overtime as a tie, and they just voided that part out. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. So I still won what would have been the odds of the other 3 legs or 2 legs or whatever it was. So, but for this one, I felt some type of way, man. Like, it's one thing, like, let the game play out. You know, if he doesn't get an at bat, then you could take away my money. But a lot of these home run bets, when you look into it, they have to start, you know, or it's got to be an in-game bet where you're betting that he's going to hit a home run. And, you know, the odds would have been a lot higher for that because he would have I think he only had 2 at-bats the whole once they added him into the game. But yeah, that was kind of bittersweet. The one thing I would say about the Mets, and the Mets need offense, and that man can deliver it. So we need to stop playing around. The Mets need to stop playing around in the catcher's position and just give that man the full-time job because he could hit 30 home runs. Nito's not going to do that. Nobody else that's available right now in that farm system or, you know, on the everyday roster is going to do that. And I feel like that's a position where you need it. Now, the issue is he's got a cannon, but the pitching staff needs to figure out a way to keep runners on. And the one start he gave up, I think it was against, I want to say, well, it was against the Marlins because we kept playing the Marlins. But on Easter Sunday, the Marlins kept running on them, and it worked. They had like 5 stolen bases. It was ridiculous. So they got to figure that out on the defense aspect because it doesn't matter if you hit 30 home runs if you're giving up 5 stolen bases. But honestly, it was bittersweet. I was happy the man hit a home run. I'm happy he is getting an opportunity in a field in that to be our catcher or to have, you know, major league experience, just like we have with Beatty, the Mets have with Beatty right now. But I was not happy that my bet was voided. So I was kind of bummed. You know, home run bets are always hit or miss, no pun intended. But that one kind of stung because the guy did what I thought he would do, and I didn't get credit for it.
Fine print, Mike Powers, the fine print.
It's very fine. And you always read it afterwards and you're like, oh man. What I do like is like, so I like strikeout props, and it always says 6+. And then my heart kind of starts to race because I'm like, does he need the 7th? You know, I think it was Nola we picked in that first ever parlay. And I picked 6+, and he got exactly 6. And then it got squeezed on the 7th. The ump just squeezed him, and he ends up leaving the game because the guy gets on base or whatever, and they take him out of the game. And I was so bummed about that. But it is just 6. So if it says 6+, it's 6. Yeah, 6.5 is a whole different story, but 6+ is just 6. But I was like, wait, like if I tell you like, oh, how much is it? $6+, it sounds like it should be more than 6, you know? So that's where fine print helps. And we got these guys in hot dog things. Is it a hot dog night again?
Yes, it is. It's dollar dog night.
We gotta stop working these, man. There's Falter.
I know one of these times I'm gonna just call.
We should just do it live, or you could call in. I'll be here, and you just call.
I don't think there are many more. I don't think there are many more left.
I'm shocked. There's even one. Like, are you kidding me? I'm shocked that they're bringing this back. That's great, man. I mean,
yeah, last time was a disaster.
Legit a food fight. So I would have bet even heavier on this game if I knew it was dollar dog night. Now they're destined to win. I'm already seeing dogs going all over the place. I think that was the Fanatic, though, that tossing them. That's the other thing. They encourage that, right? And then also I saw it on the broadcast. They showed a guy just shoving them in a backpack. Like he had like 10 of them, and he's just shoving them in his cooler, like going to his seat. I bet you those will end up somewhere. least they didn't throw him on the field of play, because the Yankees did that. It was like they used to give out a commemorative baseball. My brother would go every year and get one with my dad. And then one year they all ended up on the field. Something happened. The fans weren't happy about it. Go figure. Like, they had something to complain about, that franchise. And all the fans threw them on the field. And then so the next year they still had it, but instead they gave you like a certificate, and it said you had to like mail away for it. And then they never did it. And then they never went to that game again. It was like a tradition for them. And then they decided they just weren't going to do that. So kind of a bummer, but you know, what's not a bummer is 11 years ago today, Jansen, I got to share this with you, man. 11 years ago today, I was at a Trenton Thunder baseball game.
Nice. Always fun.
Yeah, there was no netting, right? Andy Pettit is on the mound. And Corey goes, dude, we are in line drive territory. He's like, a screaming line drive could kill one of us right here where we're sitting.
Well, I've gotten close to one of those.
Yeah. And like literally, it's we're third baseline, right-handed batter. Boom. We're like 3 innings in. Here comes a screaming line drive right for my wife's head. Soon to be wife. We're not married yet. We're going to get married. Like, this is July.
So this is make or break for the marriage then. This is, you better make sure your wife's fine and either catch it or move her out of the way, or marriage is off at that point.
So luckily I have like a plastic bottle, and I kid you not, I caught it using inches from her head. I caught it using the plastic bottle, dented the bottle. Beer pours out of the bottle. Everybody thinks it's blood. Absolutely thinks that she's dead. Like, there's no doubt about it. She's injured. And I come up holding the ball like a champ. And they're like, oh my God, check on her. I was like, nothing happened to her. But you can see this is
wow, while you're showing off the baseball and that's an old Bud Light can. Look at that.
That is.
I actually missed those. I missed the like mid 2000s
that aluminum bottle, right?
Yeah,
like I don't see that at all now.
But just that mid 2000s like old Bud Light, Miller Lite logos, I always loved those.
Yeah. It seemed
now everything has to go back to the classics, you know.
Yeah, it's like
simple branding and
Miller Lite, I think, is missing. I like their old one.
Yeah, it was great.
That 2000
it was great
vibe. Yeah,
that just reminds me of football in the mid early 2000s.
I wonder why they do that. And I wonder why they haven't.
Well, they went
it.
to the old school logo. I feel like one time, just like a special edition
for Ron Burgundy, I think.
Yeah, and then they just kept it, and they never changed.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? It's
like, yeah, everybody likes these. Let's keep it.
Everything got futuristic in the 2000s. You know, like it was like everybody was like, oh, Y2K, let's change our branding to that. You know, so I get that part, but also I don't understand why they're sticking with that.
Dodgers already up 2-0.
There you go.
Look at us. I had the Dodgers today too, by the way.
Let's go.
Which I gave out on the Steal in the Bag podcast, foxbhlgambler.com.
How is Jeremy?
Jeremy's doing all right.
That's awesome.
He's a terrible bettor, but he's doing all
right. Oh man, he should listen to Powers Parlays. No, I'm just kidding. Also terrible bettor, but look, it's we got a caller calling in 5. That's fine. We might be gone by then, buddy. No, I'm just kidding.
We might be gone.
No, yo, man, that's another thing I wanted to share. I pulled like an insane autograph Adley card and a rookie card, and I'm excited for it. I forgot to bring it in.
Wait, you pulled a what?
It's like I want to say a 1 of 300 Adley Rutschman autograph rookie card, and it was out of like a Target pack. So like everybody tells me like you got to get it from Topps.com or a hobby shop. Dude, I'm bored. My daughter loves.
And this is a Topps card. Is it a Topps Chrome?
I believe so. Yeah, because it's the one bad thing about the value of it is like it's like I want to say it's like a clear label that goes across it. Like so obviously he signed it and then they like slapped the sticker on the card. You see what I'm saying? But it is his actual autograph. And I quickly but I'm looking for somebody to like, I have this card, I have another card that I kind of want to get, like, you know how they put them in those, I don't even know, like they verify them and tell you how they're rating and stuff. They rate them and put them like in a
yeah,
I want to get that done. But I was excited, dude. And my daughter like is really good with Pokemon cards. She loves them. She loves Pokemon cards. And she pulled like I want to say like a Nine Tails or one of the
Love Ninetail.
no, it's one of the Eevee evolutions.
Love Eevee.
The one that's
Do you know the color
Hypnosis? It's white.
Yeah, that is what is that?
Flareon? Is it no, Flareon's the fire.
It is. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's a really good one.
Sylveon, yes. And that's worth $300. And I know that
Trivia question.
Yeah.
Can you name all the Eevee evolution?
Shoot. Vaporeon.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Vaporeon, you got that
Flareon.
one.
Remember, I can't pronounce
Yeah, you can
anything.
do the
I'm an
easy ones. Vaporeon, Flareon.
And electric is what is the electric?
Come on, you got it.
I don't. I'm out.
Jolteon.
Yeah, they get you good on that.
The only one I don't think I would have gotten would have been Sylveon. I always forget that. Yep, Espeon.
Yeah.
That's the psychic. And then there's a dark one, which I know as well.
Right.
Which is probably the best design of them all.
What
Not
is
to get too nerdy about Pokemon, by the way.
We just went off the rails.
I don't ever
it started
play
with
Pokemon that much.
It started with good intent, I promise you. Like we were talking about Adley Rushman. But no, yeah, she's really good with her Pokemon cards and she pulls some stuff. But then it's hard to like tell your kid, like, hey, you have something in value right there. Like, give it back. Like, so I'm like, I'll get you more cards. So Peyton, I got you another set of cards in my car. But she's also a great negotiator. She'd be like, Dad, don't you want a pack too? Like, so then I'm getting her 2 packs because she knows I'm gonna give it to her. So look, like so we got that. Dodgers are off to a great start. Noah Syndergaard, does he have any strikeouts yet, or they have not come?
They have just gotten to the bottom of the first.
Yeah, all right, great.
So he's only gone through a third of an inning.
So we're gonna recap that real quick. Our big powers parlay of the week is gonna be the Dodgers on the money line. Freddie Freeman to get a hit, and it sounds like he might have already done that. I don't know who scored, but I feel like he's always a catalyst in it. Noah Syndergaard strikeouts.
Freddie Freeman walked. He has a run and he walked, but no
run
hit.
and a walk. All
Actually, there was only 1 hit in that inning.
Jeez Louise. So the Pirates gonna pirate. No, I'm just kidding. My dad was a huge Pirates fan. He actually worked for the owners of the Pirates, and he had, when they won the World Series, he got cufflinks, and I think I have them, which is cool. Like he didn't get
a ring.
He didn't get a ring, which is a bummer. Like I guess back then they didn't do that. Like it had to be 77, right? He was just cutting his teeth. He ended up working, he ended up working at somebody's asking me to talk about Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Like that's a Jets thing. I'll talk about the butt fumble. I think that was the best part of being a Jets fan, Pete. But yeah, the Pirates, I think it was like the 70s. I want to say they won. 77 comes to mind for some reason. But yeah, he got cufflinks, man. It was pretty cool. He graduated in 69, started working for them. They obviously, I think it was the same owners as the Steelers or whatever, ends up going to work for Goldman Sachs. But we have these world championship cufflinks. So that's my story about the Pirates. But dude, beautiful ballpark, PNC Park.
I know my brother went to school in Pittsburgh, and he always says it's great, and it's a beautiful stadium, and it's
so
right on the
beautiful.
water.
There's a
it's
hotel.
amazing.
There's a hotel right there, and I like to people watch. So I think we left the game. We got into our room, and people were still coming out of the stadium. Oh, they had fireworks that same night. So we were like, "Yo, let's watch them from our room. Like, let's beat the traffic, the walking traffic." I think we actually ended up having a beer at the restaurant, and then still went upstairs, watched all the fireworks, and then I was just people watching people leave a stadium, and it was like therapeutic too, like just watching people leave a stadium. And you get those same type of views at the casino down at Citizens Bank, which is kind of cool, like especially in the parking lot. I was in the parking lot and you could like just look right into the stadium, which is awesome. But it's a beautiful ballpark. But for my birthday, the Mets are going to be in Baltimore, and I'm thinking August 7th I might go down there and check it out, because I do like Camden Yards. I had my bachelor party there, But speaking of
At
birthdays,
Camden Yards.
yeah. Corey booked it. It was the Orioles versus the Yankees.
Of course.
Yeah. So look, I'll watch baseball. I don't care, man. And actually,
Oh my no. He completely hijacked your bachelor party so he could do something he wanted to do.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Completely hijacked that.
Invited a few people I didn't know really personally.
Completely hijacked it.
No, he spent a lot of money. I will say that. And some guys unfortunately didn't pay him back, so I do owe him. And it was
no. I got a bone to pick with Corey. He totally said, "Oh, your bachelor party? This is gonna be my bachelor party."
Yeah, I took him to Vegas for his.
You went to Vegas. I mean, you're still gonna enjoy yourself there.
He actually got 3 bachelor parties. But that's
how
all.
do you get 3? Wait, what?
His marriage ended before it started. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I thought you meant like he had 3 just for one marriage.
No. Yeah. They never got married. They got to like the 1-yard line, and
goal line stand, baby. Nothing like a goal line stand.
Butt fumble. He's like, I'm not leaving. I'm still single. Oh man. But yeah. So we that went off the rails real quick. So I'm hoping to go to Baltimore. But also, you know whose birthday's coming up?
Who's that?
Sean Brace.
No.
April 29th.
Nope.
Sean Brace, program director.
We don't
of
acknowledge
Fox
that
Sports
around here.
The radio. Well, he won't be here, so we don't have to acknowledge.
Exactly.
It's not like Roman Reigns.
Because every time he has his birthday, he leaves, and I got to pick up all the work.
What do you think? You don't like the new belt? Do you like?
Oh, for WWE?
Yeah.
That was horrendous. That was disgusting. It means nothing. It's a secondary belt. Nobody cares about it.
I
just bring back the
WCW
why does everything have to be
with that giant
so modern
logo in the center?
Just give me the old World Heavyweight Championship belt. Put it on SmackDown. There you go.
That's the only belt I have in my.
That was such a Vince McMahon
area.
thing. Vince McMahon is definitely he's back.
He's back. You think? Yeah. And then, but also like, it felt real that they're not happy with Roman Reigns right now. Did that not feel real? That he hasn't been on TV since Monday after WrestleMania. Like I get it too. They said because of his health, he would have to have a reduced type of role. Like they were overusing him to begin with his scenario. So I don't know.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. I mean, when you have leukemia, like he had leukemia, right? It was that
exactly.
Yeah, he was going to, and he's had one of the strongest schedules in the last 2 years, and however long he's had that belt. And I mean, he's the face of the company. He could. This is the way champions should be handled.
Yeah, my WrestleMania prediction was they were going to do that thing where one ref gets knocked out, 2 refs come out, and one says like one guy's 2 shoulders were on the mat, and the other guy's like no, this guy's shoulders were on the mat, and they were going to separate the belts that way. And like I was like, that's actually a terrible way. But I felt as though they had to separate those belts somehow, right? Because it was just weird coming out with the blue belt and coming out with the black belt and like acknowledge me. And same thing with the tag titles. Just make it one belt. Just make it one belt. And if you're gonna have 2 different essentially companies in the WWE, then fine, divide the belts. Like, but making one ultimate champion holding 2 belts was kind of lame to me.
Syndergaard is Syndergaarding, by the way.
No, in a good way?
No,
like
bad
old,
way.
bad way?
No, like now Syndergaard. I mean, he's giving up a run. There's 2 outs, runners on first and second, but he's not doing
no strikeouts.
I think he has 1K.
Okay. We also need the money line to hit. So
we would need that.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Don't worry, the Dodgers are going to hit plenty of runs.
Yeah, dude, it's insane, man.
Dodgers lineup has been A, very good this season. B, they just had a great series against the Cubs. They should be fine.
All right, first inning. Yeah, I'm looking at this now. Man, that stinks. That's not good for the strikeout total either because he got out of the inning, right? So he gave up 1. All right.
I want a hot dog right now.
Dude, no joke. Also, like, never mind.
You want to go to the game?
I would love to. Let's go.
We might get there in about the 7th inning, but we'll get there.
Easy pass. That's dude, they do it right, man. If you're going to give away $1 hot dogs, you got to do it this way. And shout outs to that's a great hot dog too. Not a Nathan's hot dog that you could get in Brooklyn, but
overrated.
It's pretty close.
Overrated. Overrated.
That's hurtful. That's hurtful, man.
It's fine.
That's like saying like cheesesteaks are overrated. Like, where'd you go?
I mean, kind of.
Whatever, man. I'm gonna beat you in our little fast food competition.
Roast pork sandwiches are better. I mean,
I'm gonna start a campaign. Vote for Mike. Get paid for commercials
right,
on the Gambler.
now, this is just
John Jansen knows nothing about fast food.
This is collusion. I know nothing about fast food. I am fast food, Mike Powers. I am the fast food
It's a hit piece. You're supposed to make up lies. That's how the government works.
Yeah,
So,
but everybody will know you're lying.
yeah, that's fine. They'll still vote.
That's all I do is fast food.
Every politicians lie. So if you're trying to,
I sound like a terrible person right now. Like, wow,
So
John
good.
only eats fast food.
Are we doing like the core four? Like for the first one, like it has to be those four guys. Are we doing like straight McDonald's? What are we doing?
Oh, we got to do. Yeah, it's. We got to find. So I guess $8 the first one. We got to do it with each fast food restaurant. So first, like McDonald's, and then we go to Wendy's. Wendy's gonna be tough.
All right.
Wendy's is kind of expensive.
So we'll go with the clown Ronald, the first set. So
Let's do it now.
Yeah. You want to do it live on the air?
Yeah,
right now?
we got line change.
I
for
got
the
the
next 2
McDonald's.
hours.
Oh shoot! All right,
We can play that game.
let's do it.
I'm down to do that. I'm down for content.
Let's go.
By the way, line change coming up next.
Yeah. We'll be right back on the line change.
That is it for Powers Parlay. Great show.
Thanks, man.
Good stuff.
Thanks.
Line change coming up next.
Getting you ready for all of the weekend's action. It's sports here, there, and
Paxton, I'm glad he got a technical because
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Yeah, what are you
Like he was definitely showing him up.
What is
Yeah.
that idiot doing? My man, you just scored. You're having the game of your life, and let's preen in
It's
front of the
all
MVP.
about who has the biggest whatever.
Yeah.
That's
no,
all
I
it's
don't.
about.
I don't get why there are players
Go away.
trying to be too much like
Right.
back in the day with Dennis Rodman or
Yeah.
guys who are these
Yeah.
enforcers. Because Dylan Brooks is doing it without
Right.
any respect, and
Right.
honestly, it's
Right.
a little. Because I guarantee you, at the end of the series, if the Lakers win that series, you can go. You know, LeBron's a great player. So,
That's
okay,
what they
well,
do.
I
Dylan
hate
Brooks
that.
isn't good enough to do that.
It's all
Exactly.
about
And then Nick
respect
Claxton the same way. He's doing on this. Why?
Nick
and it hurt his
Claxton-
team at the end. To be
Right.
honest.
What do you?
if you're listening to this, your weekend is already a winner. It's sports here, there, and everywhere with Dick Girardi and Mike Kerr, live from the Parks Casino Sportsbook.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert